This time on A.D.D.Garage. Well, back down at Sean's. We're going to get the motor, torn the rest of the way down. We're going to check clearances. We're going to check the bores as well. I'll show you how to do that with piston ring. Just keep using the same one. And hopefully get this thing back together. That way we're good to go for the duct tape drags. Let's get it. Minty fresh. One of the things that makes LS motors really stout, as you can see, you got 4 going in this way, another 2 going in that way for your mains. That tends to hold stuff pretty damn good. Definitely a little more evidence. The metal going through the bearings here. I guess it's good we're changing them out. Yeah, that trick does work. Typically always take the whole crank out, but we're going to try it this way this time. Yeah, just drop the nail down into the oil feed, rotate it around, and bam, pops it right out. Who decided to rebuild a motor when it was 110 degrees out? Oh yeah, me. Procrastination. Either way, I was trying to be Slick Dick Rick and slide the bearings in and out, basically just applying it, spinning it in place. I've seen it done. I figured I'd give it a try. It did not work for me. Oh yeah, awesome hairdo day today too. Reason it did not work is, well, I looked, got to this back one, which they are nicely numbered by the way. The rear main seal cover is in the way. See that little lip right there? Awesome. So flywheel's got to come off, rear main seal's got to come off, timing chain cover up front's got to come off, harmonic balancer's got to come off, timing chain's got to come off. I tried cheating. That didn't happen. Here we go. And if you're wondering, yes, that is a Chrysler harmonic balancer puller. It's the one that O'Reilly's has that works. I don't know. I don't make up the rules. I just break them here and there. Well, sort of went about taking that apart ass backwards, thinking I was going to be able to slide the new bearings in. I've seen that trick done, but it wasn't going to work for this motor anyway. Either way, got her disassembled. Just got to pop these bearing shells out and clean the block, and she's bare at that point. Time to start fresh. Well, this following weekend, what do you do when it's hot as hell down in Phoenix, Arizona? You assemble parts of the air conditioning in your buddy's kitchen. Hey, thanks, Sean.
Got it.
PETA, what are we doing? PETA, grow ambidextrous thumbs. That way you can hone cylinders too. Well, got the garage going. Hey, there I am again. So, when you kick on the swamp cooler, I'm not gonna sit here and try to film with that thing going because it's still probably over 100 degrees right now. I'm gonna sit here, we'll time lapse, honing the cylinders. Okay, so I'm gonna take some oil, some grinding stones, hit that up, smooth every cylinder over. Then we're gonna throw some ATF down the holes, clean it out, little card clean, away we go, and then we get to measuring. Oh, why did I wait till the middle of summer in Phoenix? Duct tape drags, here we go. It's the following morning. It's just after 7 a.m. It's already 90 degrees down here in Phoenix. It's a warm one. Definitely going to get even warmer. Let's get as much done as possible. Either way, we got all the cylinders honed out here. I spent about half hour this morning just cleaning off the surfaces on the block. What we're going to do next is we are going to test fit rings. So I'm actually going to check for taper at home with just a ring. What we're going to do, start off at the top. We're going to measure the gap after squaring it up with the piston. Put it about halfway down the bore after that. Measure again, and then bottom bore. And we're going to make sure everything's still good and straight. So let's get that done, and we can finally move on with final assembly. Get this thing running again. Duct Tape Drags 2025, here I come. All right. Factory spec on these calls for 15 to 20 thousandths. So put the ring in, take our piston. I'm just going to use the first piston ring groove to square everything up. It's good to me. just a little loose. There's a little bit of drag. Yeah, I'm going to say that's perfect. 20 right there. I'm sure it'll be fine, but let's check the bottom anyway. Cylinder 1 checks out. I'm going to sit here and do it the rest and show the measurements after. Measured ring gap everywhere. Everything's looking decent. Just a little on the loose side of tolerance, but I'm okay with that. If I ever end up running power out or quick shot of nitrous, anything like that, I know there's a touch of room for the rings to grow anyway. So we're showing pretty much 20 to 23 thousandths the whole way through. So good to go on those. I'm gonna go ahead, flip the block over, and it's time to put the crank back in and get to check the bearing clearances on that next. Let's learn to use plastic gauge. Well, I already know, but yeah, I'll show you. All right, let's get these bearings dropped in this thing, then I can drop the crank in. And if you didn't know, one side of the bearing is fed through the oil galleys and passages to right there. So you're going to have holes on one side to transfer oil. The other side has no holes. These ones go down. Those ones go up on the caps. Keep the swap cooler back on. Sorry for the background noise, but it's too damn hot. You don't want to go cramming dirty mitts down in bearings. You want to keep these as clean as possible. If you notice, I am holding it from the outside. There's a little alignment tab. Away you go. Pause your own. There we go. Let's bump into it.
Right on there. This'll fix it. Stop leak. Last trip of the year. I have some of this laying around, but it's like really old. I don't trust it. Something like that.
You're down too far. Dude. this, you see what I was talking about. Basically, that's a little notch. You want that tab to go in. And it's going to sit just like that. And here's where the plastic gauge comes in. Basically, you put that in between on the crank, it gets smushed down, and you sit there and check the clearance. Alright, now we're going to torque everything down and then pull it back apart, and then we can gauge that plastic gauge.
Alright, now we got it all torqued down. Let's go ahead, take it back apart, and we can check the feeler gauge tape at that point. Alright, I don't know if we're going to be able to see this on camera or not, but you can see the plastic gauge sat there and spread out. We're basically looking for between 1 and 2 thousandths. It's 0.0008 to 0.0021, I believe is what it said for the specs. But it comes with the gauge right on it. Helps if I use the right side. So yeah, just under 1 thousandth. I don't know if you can see that, or over I should say. Alright, that one's good. Let me knock the rest of these out and check. We'll get back with you then. Well, let's take a break from the heat real quick. Get these pistons assembled. Basically you got 3 different rings. You're gonna have your upper, that's for compression, middle, that's for compression. Then you've got basically 3 pieces for your oil ring that go on the bottom. And we got some split rods as well. I'll show you those here in a minute. Oil ring goes in the bottom groove. And you have 2 that are basically scrapers. You always have to check. Some rings do have an indication on which way they go. This one literally has a mark that says up. Some are dot, some are laser etched. Just always make sure you got the rings facing the right direction. And no mark on the top ring. Piston's complete. Now we move on to the rod assembly. These connecting rods have retaining clips to them. They are not a press-in. Basically, I'm just gonna slide the pin in, and that way we know we bottom down in the groove it's supposed to be in for snap ring retainer there. It's always good to double check, make sure it's all in the groove. Here's where it gets wild. Because the battery's dead. Be right back. Alright, let's try this again. Here's where it gets wild. I'll even put that up close. No seam in these rods, right? Make sure I get this on film good for you. So once again, you can't see any split there. I can't, well, I was gonna say I can't pull it apart, but actually take these and break them. It's stronger versus cutting it, apparently, is what I've heard. But that's just pretty wild to me. Pin goes in. And then same thing with the tabs on these, just like main bearings. And then you just do that 7 more times. Let's go get these things in.
That number going or out?
There's no chamfer to it on this one, yeah. We went too far.
Just a little.
One end of the mirror. Alright, let's hang the rest of these pistons, Sean. Back together for the most part. I found out I have to order some alignment plates to make sure that the timing chain cover and the oil pan and the rear main seal cover are all lined up correctly. I sort of knew there was something funky to it, and I found out the hard way. But she rotates over. I'm going to show you guys a shot of the pistons here. Some flat top pistons. Everything comes right up to deck height. Well, that wraps up this one for now. I'll end up back down here. I'll shoot this in a second part video, I guess, because I'm sure this one's going to take forever anyway. And well, stick around, find out how to finish off this LS motor, and let's make this thing get to the duct tape drags. Hope to see you guys there. Oh yeah. Like, share, subscribe, stay around. We'll see you guys later.